Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice. You know what? I think I'm gonna let Will take this one for me.
Well, that was fucking dreadful.
Now, I think that's a little bit unfair if I'm honest. It's the general consensus, but is it a fair one? No. I think everyone expected DC to come out swinging at Marvel with a determination to be just as good. However, they do take a much more aggressive, dark tone. It worked for the Nolan trilogy, so surely it should work for Wonder Woman and Superman as well. I also think DC have got the ordering of their films messed up. With Marvel, it took them 5 films to establish this awesome universe with a wonderful payoff in the Avengers. DC builds up to this film with a distinctly average Superman film that not many people can even remember because it came out so long ago. It's not like they haven't got other films in the pipeline either. They've announced solo films for all of the League members, but for some reason they're coming out after this film, which I'm not entirely sure is the first Justice League film or just some weird prequel thing. So let's do this. From now on, this review will have spoilers, so that's a warning. If you haven't seen this film, go away and watch it, then come back and watch this. So, Ben Affleck as Batman. A controversial casting when it first came out, but when we saw this picture, everybody became much more optimistic, and we were right to do so. He was amazing. It's one of those conundrums, however, that Robert Downey Jr. will always be Iron Man, Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man, and Christian Bale will always be Batman. However, Ben Affleck really wants that title, and if he keeps going the way he is, he will get it. On the subject of Batman, Jeremy Irons as Alfred is fine. I know they couldn't have Michael Caine again because that would be some weird crossover thing with the Nolan trilogy, but to me he will always be Alfred. Jeremy Irons' character also didn't really have a point other than to demonstrate that Alfred is around. Henry Cavell? Poor guy. He is a really good actor, as we saw in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., but for some reason he's been told to be Superman and be mopey and depressed the entire time, which just doesn't make sense. He is so one-dimensional, and I'm sorry, but killing him off and then almost bringing him back in the same film is just stupid. I know it's supposed to be Batman's motivation to go out and find the other League members, but no. Gal Gadot, she was fine. I really liked her in the build-up as this mysterious woman that nobody really knew what she was about, but as soon as she became Wonder Woman, the acting went a bit wobbly. And finally, poor Jesse Eisenberg. He has received so much stick for his Lex character. And yes, his character is an annoying little dweeb, but it's not his fault. That's a combination of script writing and the director telling him to basically be Mark Zuckerberg, but with some fundamentally unfounded desire to destroy the universe. A lot of people have said that they think this film should have been 2 films. Yeah, at least. They could have had one Batman film establishing his hatred for Superman, a Superman film establishing Lex's hatred for Superman, and then this film to culminate the finale and be just epic. As it stands, it's just a jumbled, crammed mess with a really obvious desire to try and catch up with Marvel in just one film. Marvel has been going since 2008, guys. You're not gonna do it. And you didn't. So then let's talk Doomsday, or Frankenzod. I don't really know. So they needed something to motivate this union, but again, couldn't they have thought of a different motivation to bring all of these characters together that didn't involve some stupid looking CGI monster that didn't place anywhere in the story? The build-up is just over an hour and a half, and I've seen a lot of hate for this, but I actually quite liked it. It was much more of a character piece for Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent. And oh my goodness, the scene at the start with Bruce Wayne driving through the streets of Metropolis during Superman and Zod's fight is one of the best pieces of cinema I have seen in ages. But once we reach that hour and a half mark, it's almost like the director just went, oh crap, we haven't had any Batman vs Superman. Kidnap his mum, then get him to start punching Batman until Batman starts punching him more, then they become friends, then they save his mum, then Doomsday happens, then Wonder Woman arrives, then Lois starts to drown, then Superman saves Lois, and then Superman dies trying to kill Doomsday.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
Okay, so rant over. Let's talk about why this film was actually epic. Zack Snyder's visuals are so good. Everything in this film looks beautiful. That's probably the saving grace in these over-the-top fight scenes, with Wonder Woman doing these awesome dives towards Doomsday, Superman flying through the debris. Okay, Batman seems a little bit out of his depth when fighting Doomsday and just shoots him with a canister of kryptonite at the end. Good job, Batman. But Batman had his moment in the warehouse, which I think, down to almost a single person, would agree that that was the best scene in the entire film. I love this murdering, almost mad old man Batman, who beats the crap out of his foes and kills them in some cases, and then brands them with a bat symbol afterwards. There is no doubt that Ben Affleck's Batman would kill Christian Bale's Batman. So the way they established the other Justice League members was in this weird email that had these secret classified documents in them. Most people hated that, but I thought it was kind of a cool way to get these little cameos in without making them such a big deal. There's also a shot of the Flash coming to Batman in a dream or vision, at least we think it's Flash, and there's red lightning flying around and it looks really, really cool. I also love how dark DC movies are. It's a really interesting way of approaching this genre, and DC comics are dark. Much more so than the Marvel comics, which are kind of light and fluffy in comparison. If they can control themselves and stop trying to play catch up with Marvel and just take their time, these films will be great, and the universe they're creating looks really, really promising. But I've been saying for a long time that I wasn't optimistic about this film, particularly after the second trailer. I think maybe if they hadn't released that second trailer, it would have been a much better film, because there's so much more surprise that would come out of it, particularly this scene.
She with you?
I thought she was with you.
That would have been awesome, but when it happened, everyone was like, yeah, seen it. However, as I've said, this film looked great, and if they'd taken some of the unnecessary scenes out, like the courtroom bombing, which didn't add anything to the story, and found a better motivation for Batman and Superman fighting, and then stopping fighting, other than the whole Martha, Martha, Martha thing, if you've seen the film, you'll understand, it would have been great. I was kicking your ass and about to stab you through the heart, but now I know that our mums have the same name, we're BFFs.
What is wrong with you?
Having seen this film, it was a mess, but it has left me really optimistic for the future. I'm so looking forward to the Suicide Squad film, and particularly the Batman cameo in that. If this film had been simpler or had a better introduction through other films, it would have been great. However, Batman vs Superman Dawn of Disappointment will only get a 77, because though it was good and fun, it was a huge disappointment to fans everywhere.